Good morning, Year 3, Mr. Grocott here, doing a bit more maths with you. Today we're going to be looking at measuring the perimeter of a shape. Okay, so for those of you who can't remember, the perimeter is the length around a closed 2D shape. So it's the length of all the edges of a shape. Okay, so first of all, let's reveal one of the numbers. So this side here is 9 centimeters. Now with a rectangle, we know that two of the sides are the same length, and then the other two sides also share a length. So if this side here is 9 centimeters, that one must also be 9 centimeters. If this length here is 13 centimeters, this one here must also be 13 centimeters. So let's figure out the perimeter. So to get the perimeter, I need to add up the length of all of these sides. So I've got 13 add 13 and 9 add 9. So let's start off easy. Let's get two numbers. So let's do 13 add 13, which is 26. And 9 add 9, which is 18. So now I've got two numbers. I can use my column method. So I'm going to do 26 add 18. So 6 add 8 is 14. So that's going to be, let's do blue. Okay. Okay, so put the 4 there, carry the 1. 2 add 1 is 4. So my final length is 44. 44 what? 44 centimeters, because that is my unit of measurement. Okay, so that was the total length of all four sides. Now, which of these shapes could I measure the perimeter of? Have a little think. I can measure the perimeter of any closed 2D shape, which means A, well, that's a full shape. I could measure A. And D, I could measure D because that's a full closed 2D shape. B and C, however, have gaps in them. There's a gap there and two gaps on there, which means I can only measure A and B. Now, some of you might be thinking, but Mr. Grocott, why don't you just get your pen and draw on the corner like that? And then you could measure the perimeter. Well, that's a good idea, but if I did do that, there's a chance it could look like that. Or it could also look like that. Maybe that was the original shape. In which case I'd have to also measure that, and that. And I don't know which of those shapes was actually the original. So if it's got a gap in, you can't measure the perimeter. Here's a question for you. Here is an equilateral triangle. Ron measures all the sides and labels each side. So he's got a 2, a 2, and a 3. Now, Ron's done this incorrectly. He's done it wrong. How do we know? Well, if Ron has really measured his sides properly, then all his numbers should be equal, because this is an equilateral triangle. Triangle. And with an equilateral triangle, all the sides should be the same length. So if one of the sides is 3, they should all be 3. If one of the sides is 2, they should all be 2. So how do I know he's done it wrong? I know because an equilateral triangle has 3 equal sides. See the clues in the name. Equilateral triangle, equal sides. And one of his sides is a different measurement. Now, this could mean that he's measured the 3 meters wrong when it should have been 2, or he's measured his 2 meters wrong, which should have been both 3. That means my answer could have been 3, 3, 3, which is 9 meters, or 2, 2, 2, which is 6 meters. So 2 completely different numbers there. Now then, we've also got this sort of question, which says a square has a perimeter of 28 centimeters. Okay. What if I said to you, how long is one side? Well, how could we figure that out? A square. What do we know about a square? Well, all the sides are the same length. So if all the sides are the same length, that means, say that was 5, that would also be 5, that would be 5, and that would be 5. I know a square has 4 sides. What if I did 28, which is the perimeter, and divided it by 4? Would that give me my length? Yes, it would. Because if 4 sides added together give me something, if I divide that answer by 4, it will give me the same answer. So 28 divided by 4. Well, if I do my 4 times table, 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28. Well, 7 times 4 equals 28. So 28 divided by 4 must be 7. So that means that is 7 centimetres. That's 7 centimetres. That's 7 centimetres. And that's 7 centimetres. 7, 14, 21, 28. Which means this side here, if I said what's the length of this side, you'd say 7 centimetres. 7 centimetres, 7 centimetres, 7 centimetres. Okay? Now, see if you can work out the perimeter of this square. And welcome back if you paused and had a go. So, this square, as we know, has 4 equal sides. All squares do. So, if this side here is 5 metres, well then, this side must also be 5 metres. And this side must be 5 metres. And that side must be 5 metres. And then it's a really easy job to find the perimeter. What's 5 add 5 add 5 add 5? Well, 5 add 5 is 10. Add another 5 is 15. Add another 5 is 20. So my perimeter is 20 metres. Well done if you got that correct. Now, this one says, can you calculate the perimeter of this rectangle? Okay, so can we do it? Well, let's have a look. We know one side's 30 millimetres. So that side must be 30 millimetres. But we don't know the length of this side. We could measure it with a ruler, but it's not drawn to scale, so it wouldn't give us an accurate measurement. Which means we also don't know that one. And if I don't know the length of 2 of my sides, can I work out the perimeter? The answer is no. What about this one then? What is the perimeter of this rectangle? So we've got 30 millimetres, 30 millimetres. And then we've got 8 centimetres, so this must be 8 centimetres. Well, first of all, let's convert it so they're all the same measurement. 30 millimetres is 3 centimetres. Okay? So 3 centimetres, which means you are now also 3 centimetres. So let's cover you up. And put 3 centimetres. Now this will be really easy because 3 add 3 is 6, 8 add 8 is 16, 16 add 6 is 22. So the perimeter of that shape is 22 centimetres. I said what's the answer in millimetres? Well, if 1 centimetre is 10 millimetres, 22 centimetres must be 220 millimetres. And then this one says, can you work out the perimeter of this triangle? Well, one side's 5 metres, one side's 800 centimetres, and I don't know the length of this side. Well, this isn't an equilateral triangle because 2 of the sides are different. So I don't actually know what that length is. So can I work out the perimeter if I've got a missing length? No, because there's nothing there that could actually help me figure out that missing length either. So that's all from me for today. Silver is questions 1 to 4, gold is 5 to 7, and platinum as always is on your separate sheet. Have fun, bye!